feels good. It feels great. They just asked me a question upstairs saying how difficult was it to get into that shape. But when I had an extraordinary story like that, a script like that, it took me a year, but I didn't quite realize how tough it was. It was just taking it one day at a time and thinking about the story and thinking about the release. And when I finally reached it, it was like, oh wow, it's done. So I think for me, the Painkiller is a great story. Coming out. That's very upsetting, yeah. First you only look at you as an actor, but I thought I was always a star. But anyway. No, I think you're an actor who has a star over you. Thank you. No, the tough part was first to learn boxing, and then the director called me and said, "You're not doing any boxing in the film, so you have to pad." So we had to unlearn boxing and learn how to pad, which is what the coaches do. And then after that, I realized that I was not an active boxer, so I had to have a physique which looked like a retired boxer, which is not as many veins and nerves popping out, but just larger size that happens over years of average use, but somebody who's had a great physique before. So I just built up in size, and that was tough. I couldn't brush my teeth in the morning. It used to be a great feeling. Now I can, but at that time I couldn't. You mean to say you've a little toned down now? A lot. I'm not half as close to what I was. Okay, okay. It's a very, very relevant, very appropriate, and probably one of the smartest questions I've heard in a long time. Yeah, because health is a combination of both physically how fit you are and mentally how stable you are, and it's that stability that probably contributes largely to how successful and where you are in life. And when I say successful, I don't necessarily mean how big is tie and how much money are you asking for. I mean the kind of satisfaction with which you go to bed at night. Okay, and that is very, very important. So for me, it was a lesson that I learned. I went to a place in Australia where I had to learn first about my body before I went into something like that. Because when you go into quick bodybuilding and want to put on muscles, there are repercussions to an effect like that. Your body is not used to building up that kind of muscle. So what will happen is it'll start shutting down parts of your body, which is not good. Your hair starts to fall, you get wrinkles on your face and stuff like that. When you want to do it the natural way, that's probably the best. The only disadvantage is it takes a long time. So you really have to bite the bullet and say, I'm not going to do anything for a year. Mental health is extremely important because the one thing that I learned in Austria is, we've heard it, they said, sir, you're paying us a lot of money and you've come a long way for us to teach you what we've learned in India, where they say you are what you eat. And I could just speak for 10 hours right now on the importance of the food you eat and how it has a direct implication on your mental health. If you ask me, the best way to get that stability is to eat right, without a doubt. Without a doubt. I mean, there is no question about it. And I have enough studies done in that field to know that it is very important to eat right to be mentally stable as well. Unfortunately, yes. I was in the NCC. Then I got selected to be a part of the defense. So we were always training. And what happens when I said unfortunately is that when you keep training the wrong way, fatigue sets in. And when the fatigue sets in, you also tend to put on a lot of weight after that because you just give up. You just say, let me relax, enough of the gym. So it took me a long time to learn that you should always get out of the gym 15 minutes before you think you're slightly tired and make that as part of your lifestyle. So all those things weren't taught to us in the army. You just run blindly. So I've always been a gym person. So it was thankfully because of that experience I was able to do what is required for this film. So my next film is I'm allegedly right now that we're talking about is Encounter Cop. So I need to be really, really thin, really thin. So sorry, is that you? I don't know who asked the question. They're flashing, so I can't. Sorry about that, ma'am. Yeah. Yeah, I need to be lean, very, very lean, so I will not be maintaining this for long. That I hope they do. I'm having a very, in my opinion, my PR department is right here, and they keep saying that you have an idiotically boring reputation. So please have a couple of affairs and some stuff. So I'm saying, yeah, find somebody. Yeah, let's do that. So I'm coming back to the first answer, which is I'm clever, and I have all the vices that any normal person must be having. And it's just that I'm trying to build up an exciting image over here. Okay, so please help me with that. No. I got to be honest with you. It's not easy. You're always very tempted. It's not easy not to have an affair, or it's not easy not to get caught. It's not easy not to have an affair. It's also not easy not to get caught. But when you're out on a foreign tour, you're shooting in. I know exactly how it happens. 15 days. Yeah, we're shooting in Switzerland, and the heroine has come with her mother, and for the first 3 days, everybody's behaving themselves, and then after that, when everything closes at 7 o'clock in the evening, and it is daylight till 11 o'clock, the demons come out. You're all like, hey. And I know somebody will say, "Hey, Maddie, let's go for a walk," and I know it's never going to be only a walk. It's going to be. Oh my God. Yeah, so it's either. You know. I just hope yes. Yes, I do. Yeah, I do. I do go for those walks. The only thing is, there's a lovely saying, a dialogue in Devil's Advocate that Al Pacino keeps saying: "Look but don't touch, touch but don't taste, taste but don't swallow." And when you're hopping from one foot to the other, wondering what to do, God is having a cosmic laugh. So it is good to see how much of a Vishwamitra you can be. But then over a period of time, I realized it's not a good deal to do. So I want to only say that and then it over there. No, I think that I'm a very nervous guy. Okay, so my uh, my life revolves between one film to the other, and when I'm in that one film, I'm obsessed as it is. So in the interim period, I'm so nervous that I don't even, I barely go out for parties and I'm being a homebird. I just love to be at home, kind of dazing around. So it has come to that level that my wife also says, it's time you go out and be seen some places around here. You are not running. So I think my build up maybe I have been there, done that a lot. I've been in Bombay for 20 years from the time I was a television actor and was doing really well for himself. So I've seen a lot of those partying and fun. And maybe I'm trying to find something else now. You know what? I'm going to actually come out with a video, I think, which is going to tell everybody I'm a vegetarian. All right, and there was no extra protein supplement or anything extra that I took for the physique. The disadvantage and advantage is that you when you have high density muscles, then your nerves also need to make up for that. Also, when you go to sleep at night, one part of your body will go to sleep, will get up with pain and not be able to move that because it's gone numb, because the nerves have got pressed. So the diet that I maintained was I ate normally. The only thing that I would changed about my normal diet was that I wouldn't eat food after 6 o'clock in the evening. So I would sleep at 10, that was guaranteed, and about 6 o'clock I would not eat anything raw or any food after 6. That was the only change I made. But otherwise, no extra meat, no extra protein, no extra supplements, nothing. And it really worked because the body actually adapts to what you're doing physically during the day. So they had it was a great learning experience. I remember because he said, I said I'm going to work out. I need to put on muscle. Should I eat more protein? He said the most muscular animal in the forest is the ox. The only thing it eats is grass. And he says there is enough protein in every food you eat for the body to absorb it if you want it. But the body has to decide that you want it. If you were saying protein shakes are going to give you muscles, then you should just take 8 glasses of protein shake in a day. You should become muscular. But that doesn't happen because the protein is not required for the body. So those are very interesting things that I learned. And my diet had not changed at all. Oh, like it was for Tanu X Manu or Rana Hai Tere Dil Mein, all these films. What happens is, one of the reasons that I keep absenting myself from the industry is I spent a lot of time with people who are not part of the film industry. Like I golf, I would go out for rides with the rickshaw guys and just chat with them, and I just realized that the over the last 10 years, the audiences have become much more intelligent than the actual industry people in terms of the kind of stories that were coming to me. We're still stuck with a lot of old formulas that work for us, but the youngsters, now if I sit and explain to them that I'm sitting beside this girl and I'm just holding her with one finger and that's got to be romance, the 13-year-old guy is like, come on, man, seriously. He's having more fun on the WhatsApp than I'm having with the girl over here. So it is the whole journey of trying to convince producers, saying, no, this will be accepted by the audience. They're smart enough because they all want to tell us. Yes, like when we did Tanu Vats Manu, people didn't want to touch it because they said, यार ये तो 1980s की film लग रही है. There's no Sheila की जवानी, no Munni Badnaam Hui, no Six Pack. The film stayed in the can for 8 months after being made, and nobody would touch it. It's only that suddenly one person saw it and they said, wow, actually it's got potential. and then they release it, and the rest is history. So the same thing happened with Sala Kadus also. Because every time I would say it's about a female boxing, वो तो बहुत यार, actually it took 4 years. So they used to keep saying यार तो अभी आ रही है मैरी कॉम आ रही है आपके लिए, वो हो गया, अभी लेडी बॉक्सिंग के साथ कौन दिखेगा सर, आप हीरो नहीं हो पिक्चर में, फिर क्या फायदा, गाने हैं नहीं है तो, न्यू लड़की, अच्छा मतलब, so answering all those questions and assimilating all that and convincing people. Finally, I went to Raju because he's a friend, not because he was a great, he's a great director and producer. But when he saw my face, he asked me, I narrated the story to him, and that's how he came on board. Varna, this film wouldn't have been made. Well, yeah, I'm a producer on Sala Khadu, so definitely Sala Khadu. Yeah.
But which is your favorite film as an actor?
I would say Sala Khadu right now. Yeah. देखिए जो भी संजय के यहाँ जाते हैं वो उनके साथ तो फिल्में बन जाती हैं अभी, नहीं अभी ऐसी कोई बात नहीं है, he's like a brother to me, so, and he's been a great support, so I enjoy spending time with him, and he's got enormously exciting stories to tell us right now, and the evenings are spent just listening to those stories. यार बहुत पड़ता है यार हाँ मतलब सर्विस टैक्स बढ़ गया कि नहीं, जब ये वो क्या टैक्स आ गई, ये बिल्कुल पड़ता है, बट मुझे हमेशा लगता है कि जो आपका फर्ज है वो निभा दीजिए, फिर आप जिंदगी आराम से जी सकेंगे. आई एम ऑलवेज ऑफ द ओपिनियन दैट यू माइट, इट्स बेस्ट फर्स्ट टू फॉलो द रूल्स एंड देन शो वेदर यू लाइक इट और नॉट, दैट्स अ डिफरेंट डील, बट इट्स बेस्ट टू फॉलो इट फर्स्ट. क्यों यार सारा टैक्स काट दें हम लोग के लिए, बोले जीरो टैक्स, और वो बोलें कि जिसको जैसे दुबई वगैरह में होता है कि इट्स यूजर्स टैक्स, you keep your income and you just pay tax for whatever you buy or use. That I think would have been a smart thing. But I'm an actor who has no financial experience, so it's said with that cautionary warning. In fact, when I came to Bombay, I didn't even think I had it in me to be an actor. I was teaching. I had a consultancy. I used to teach public speaking, communication skills, and basically from personality development. And that's how I started off. And one of my students came and said, "Sir, अगर आपको legal money चाहिए जल्दी से, तो आप ये modeling कर लो, आपको पैसे मिल जाएंगे. You can set up your own office. You don't have to keep hiring buildings." And that's how it started. I went with a few photographs to ZTV office, and one lady called Almaz, who I'll never forget, took those pictures. And the very next day, I got an offer to do a television serial. Yeah, it was meant to be. वो आजकल के ज़माने में ना 12-13 करोड़ लोग खर्च कर देते पब्लिसिटी में, है ना, तो हमारे लिए सख्त रूल होता है कि आप ऐसे बेफिजूल की बातें नहीं करेंगे, वही करेंगे जो हम आपसे कहते हैं. तो इसके बारे में सही ढंग से जो है बड़े ताम झाम के साथ और फैनफेयर के साथ उसकी बातें शुरू करेंगे. सो थोड़ा टाइम दे दीजिए. What a question! Why would I want to do boxing or dancing? It's romancing and very easiest thing to do.
Who just choose boxing.
They must be nuts.
Okay.
Why?
So that means the next film that is going to come up is also going to be a romantic film.
Age-appropriate romantic film, hopefully.
Okay.
I've told Anand that the next sequel, if it has a triple role for me, then I will do it. बहुत हो गया ये double role, अभी मैं करूँगा triple role. We're always together, so I know for a fact that it's a pipe dream right now. There's nothing. No. What I'm saying is the sequel itself hasn't been written or thought out properly. It was a wish list, and Raju has 3 other scripts before that which he wants to finish. So by that time, I think it'll be the idiot's children who will be doing a film. I very doubt at the rate that Raju does a film once, every 5 years. So अभी तो 15 साल के बाद जो बनेगी 3 idiots के बारे में तो देखेंगे. I don't have the qualifications, nor the patience for it. I think it's a very fine art. It's personally, you have to have a trait like a driver can't afford to have sleep apnea. A producer cannot afford to have impatience, which I'm full of. So I don't think I have the technical qualification nor the personality built up to be a director. So
well, I like him as an actor.
Hey, me too. Me too. Totally. Thankfully now they are being wide and all-encompassing in terms of the stories being offered. I don't have the liberty to choose the kind of film I want to do, whether I want to do a comedy or an action, because the kind of scripts that I can do itself are a few and far between. But now they are becoming braver. They're actually much braver. No, because of all the other kind of films that have done well, from Piku to
The stuff that's doing well.
that is doing well. They're very different stories, not necessarily the typical hero films and dance and song numbers. Every other film is making 100 crores if it's good. Nirjana, for instance. So those kind of offers are now beginning to come, which is good, which I think is great. I know it's a true story. मैंने कहा यार ये साला खड़ूस नहीं बन रहा है तो चलो फार्मर ही बन जाता हूँ. Yeah, it's actually very easy. And see, one of the things, like I was saying, as an actor, you want to gather as much knowledge as possible. So there is this new process called hydroponics, which is something that you can grow. This is not organic. Okay. This is called hydroponics. So there is both. I'm doing organic as well as this, where you grow fruits and vegetables without soil, and it just grows them on water, which is a very different technology. So मेरा पूरा हफ्ते का तो नहीं, लेकिन 4 दिन का तो सबसे निकल ही जाता है. I'm going to meet Mike Tyson. I didn't say I'm going to test him. I'm just saying.
Why not testing now that you're trained, you're pro at it? Why not test?
It's like me being a pilot in Rangde Basanti and being actually made to fly as MiG-16. This is a MiG-29. I don't think I'll take off the ground. So Mr. Tyson is a phenomenally historic boxing figure. I think merely shaking hands is enough for me.
Punching.
ये ऐसी डचिंग करके जो है ना, ऐसा कोई word है ही नहीं, but I feel like that in front of him. It's actually a great compliment that he has expressed his desire to see the film, which is something that we're hoping to show him next month. He saw one of the reviews written by the Hindu online, and I think he is one of those guys like all true professionals who follow that every article about the profession that they're involved in. So he actually messaged one of the boxers, an Olympian, who was responsible for our boxing in the Tamil film, and said, hey, I'd really like to see this film, and he put it on Facebook, on his verified site. So that became viral for us. Yeah, so boxing, hey, listen, yeah, I'm an actor now. I just, one film के लिए कर दिया बहुत है. अभी जाके I want to try it out with other people and stuff. If I have to try out my boxing, then it'll be a different sort of wrestling. Maybe not boxing, but I'll probably do a wrestling film with a beautiful woman. That'll be a good stuff to do. That's what the South guys keep asking. Are you going? Why not? Why not? I mean, it's with the way the bloody dollar is increasing on the rupee. It'd be a good idea to earn money in some dollars. Yeah. So yes, but like I was telling the ladies just a few minutes ago, I have to wrap my head around the fact that I need to go back to the bottom of the rung, start giving my screen tests. Priyanka and Deepika are, gorgeous ladies, so they're probably going to get the best offers. For me, there are dime a dozen kind of guys who are Indians who want to act and who look very good. So I have to prove my mettle there and see if getting an income in dollars is going to happen, which I would like, of course. So, like, I have a million things that I need to do that has not been done. Like, from taking care of my dogs to playing golf to.
Your Bheem is and Hulk is a dog.
Yeah, two dogs.
Please specify.
Yeah, so yeah, I have a son to take care of and be a father as well too.
Are you a doting father?
I know I'm a doting father. I don't know if I'm a responsible enough father yet. I'm a sort of an absentee father for quite a bit, but I make up for all the absence when I'm with him. I'm hoping to do more films. I can't afford to do one film in 3 years anymore. So I'm hoping to do more films frequently. But now that the scripts are being written and they're beginning to write the kind of stories that I like, I think hopefully there'll be more films this year. Absolutely. I mean, when we did Rehna Hai Tere Dil Mein, Magna Publications was just on magazines. Now it's all over, on apps, on internet, which is very good. It's information on tap, so people tend to remember and forget very quickly. So you're talking about a whole different breed of people who are looking at films, and then they will never go to the theaters till they find the films aspirational. So if they think with the trailer कि भैया इसको मैं घर में बाद में देख लूँगा, you're done. So we're fighting different challenges. At the same time, people are coming back to the theaters, which was not happening when I first came, because television had taken up all the interest at that time, and people were watching Mahabharata on television, and they would want to come out and watch movies. So yeah, it's a constantly changing industry. I remember Mr. Balachandar, one of the greatest doyens of direction in the South. He said something that when he joined the film industry in 1956 or something, they said the film industry is in a really bad shape, and we hope that it improves. He said it's been 50 years since now, and he's never improved. The film industry is always in the bad state, so that's how it's been constant.
The other. It seems like a YRF movie only. कि पार्टी पे लड़कियां एक तरफ हैं, लड़के एक तरफ हैं और बाद में मिलेंगे. But the only reason to do that is because we don't want the boys to get